We are looking at coordinate systems and projections in this course called CIX GIS 005. This is the part C part of this video. We've done the first part, the second part, and the third part. So this is the third part now. The last part will end in part D of the video. Here we treated about projection on the fly, and we also treated some integration of different data on a different platform of coordinate system. So let's go on.
Now, another one we want to use is mind peaks. This mind peaks, let's see the information on mind peaks. If we go back to ArcGIS metadata, then we'll click again, we'll go back to spatial reference, as we've just seen in the other one. You see there is no projection here. But what we have that this is GCS WGS 1984. So that means this is in WGS 1984, while the other one is projected. Now, these two information lie in the same place, but they are not of the same projection. So we can integrate this to appear in the same environment. So what do we do here now? Let's see. We can bring this in. We'll bring this in. You see, that appears here. Now, if you go back to this layer again and you look at the properties, you see that the current coordinate system is defined. So you can see that is the current coordinate system is defined as UTM zone 32. So it has actually taken the property of this image that was actually brought in. So let's go back to catalog again and see this, as we just said, the mind pit. If we bring the mind pit in, drag it in, we'll find out that the mind pit aligns with this image. So you see, so the mind pit boundary actually aligned where it's supposed to be. So this is just the pit, the mind pit that actually digitized is the boundary. So they align even though two of them are not of the same thing. So if we go to property, you can see that this is WGS 1984. You see? So that is it. So that's what actually we call projection on the fly. You can see this is actually WGS 1984 UTM zone 32. So from this, you can see that the system understands integration, that integration of this and that. So that would actually call projection on the fly. Okay, we'll look at into another section. So another example I want us to see here is, let's bring in another data that might not have a well-defined or coordinate system attached to it, or a coordinate system that is actually a customized type, or what ArcMap might actually complain of, or lacks on spatial reference. So let's look at this. We have another data here. Let's assume this is my 2 shapefile. If you look at this my 2 shapefile, if you look at the property here, go to property and you go to XY coordinate system, you see it is under custom. Once you see a coordinate system, this is WGS 1984, but this is under custom. So customize is not really, this might not really be understood because this layer is coming from another software that might not share the same attribute with ArcGIS. So if you look at it, this is actually WGS 1984, but it's under custom, you see. So there are two things you can do here. For you to redefine it, for ArcGIS to understand it, you have to actually put it in geographic coordinate system. Now let's see what the ArcMap would say. If we bring this in, you see the following data sources use a geographic coordinate system that is different from the one used by the data frame you are adding this and add and all that. Now, the issue is it does not have the same thing with the data frame, and also it's under customized. Now, why is it that it didn't actually complain when we brought in the mine pit that is also WGS 1984. It's because this is actually customized system. It doesn't want to understand this. So that is it. So if we remove this, remove this data, we want to bring it in again, there's a solution here. You right click it, say property, you go here, you define it into geographic coordinate system, which is world 1984. You pick 1984, you apply, and you say okay. When you drag it in again, you see the complaint is gone. The ArcGIS does not complain again. You see, that is the simplex. It doesn't complain again. Now, it's overlaying them, knowing that this is even though they are in different kind of projections, but they actually still overlap. So these are the things you need to understand when it's under customized and when it's not actually under customized.
So let's look at how we can now project this. Remember that this is actually in WGX 84, not in UTM, the same as this. So let's see how we can project this into UTM. So what do? We can actually form a new layer and do it under a new layer, or we can actually do it here. So what do? We can go to ArcMap, go to projects, go to ArcMap, we'll go to data, go to projection and data management, we'll go to projection and transformation, then we'll go to projects, then impute data set of feature class actually asking us which one are we going to impute here. We're imputing mine pit boundary layer. You see, now output data of feature class, this is actually where you want to save the output. So you browse and save it here and give it a name. Give it a name mine underscore transformed, or say mine UTM. So mine boundary bound in UTM. So we'll save, that is the name, output coordinate system. You now choose the coordinate system. Remember, this image, the raster image, is in UTM 32. So we'll have to browse projected coordinate system now, and we'll go to UTM, go to WGS 84, then we're in northern hemisphere 32 zone, then you pick 32 zone, that is it here, then you okay, that is output coordinate system. What else do? You okay it. When you okay, you look at this place, project, so that makes it's projected. Then we can actually go back to our catalog. We'll refresh. When you refresh, okay, that is it here. We'll bring it in. You see, we can remove the old one. This is the old one. The property of the old one is telling us WGS 84. Then see the new one, mine pit. You see, it's now projected to 1984 UTM zone 32. So it means that this and this have the same, now have the same. You can remove this. It means that this and this have the same coordinate system projections and all that. So that is how you can project from one coordinate system to another coordinate system.